doing it all for the thrill. I'm doing it all for the thrill. I'm doing it all for the thrill. You know I'm loving the Cupid's free hair. Doing it, 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 for the thrill. Doing it all for the thrill. You know I'm loving the Cupid's free hair. Doing it all for the thrill. You know I'm loving the Cupid's free hair. Doing it, 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 for the thrill.
Hello, hello, hello. Oh, fuck. I need to. I don't have the chat on screen. I don't have the chat on screen. Let me pop that out. Let me pop that out. Tab give. And then we move that over. This is a little scuffed. Little scuff. We got a little scuff here. Let me window capture. There we go. Got the chat. So this is very impromptu because Brolome was ending stream and he's like, we need somewhere to raid. Temp, Oxjar, go live. And I was like, I bet I'll do it. So I was working on something in the background, and I guess I don't know, might as well stream it. Might as well stream it. So, I'll switch over to here and then window capture. Yeah, this. Control F. Yeah, fit the screen. Or I found out Control S is stretch to screen, which is actually what I want in this case. And we'll move that down. Move that down so you can actually see chat in the avatar. Yeah. So, it's Christmas time. It's Christmas time. So I want to sing a Christmas song. It's White Christmas. I got a MIDI of it off the internet, which has a whole bunch of tracks in it. But I muted like all of them except for the piano. And I've got this here, which originally it was like in the MIDI it's for a vibraphone, but it's actually the notes for the vocal, which I'm like using that as kind of a guide. And I've got a little bit of a vocal there that I kind of started with. And we've got the MIDI bus here with a decent sampler, and that's not going to show up because it's a separate window, which needs a separate window capture if I want to add that. If I want to show that, that is decent sampler. Okay. And it is that. Decent sampler, which is our piano. And I think it's hooked up to my, no, it's not hooked up to my MIDI keyboard. I'll hook that up to my MIDI keyboard so we can test that. There, how's that? Yeah, yeah. So this is the claustrophobic piano sample library, which I believe is free from Piano Book. And that's what I'm using because it's a really nice sounding piano. I've got the I mean the settings you can see on here. This one is like the hammer is coming back. Like you can, like if you turn that back up, it's you can hear it slam down when you let off the notes, which is sometimes it's really cool. In this case, I want to turn it off. Okay, so I'm gonna close out of that, and I guess we can hear what we have so far. We'll start. Oh, I gotta hold on a sec. Hold on a sec. More scuff. More things to set up before you can hear it. I need to route the audio into OBS. And hey, why don't I actually show you what that looks like? Why don't I actually show you what that looks like? Pipewire graph. Yeah. This is what my audio routing looks like. So we'll route the auditioner, the click, which, oh, that was not the right thing. The click, which is the metronome, is what that is. And then the master out, the master bus out, because everything else gets routed to the master bus. Yeah. All right. So now we go back and change this back to VLC. Not VLC. Ardour. Yeah. Should be able to hear it now. Okay. So it's muted for a couple seconds and then it comes in. Yeah, and I haven't sung the rest of it yet, so we'll have to do that. But I think before we do that, I'd like to get a couple of plugins on our vocal here. In particular, really want some compression on it, and can't really see the compression because, again, it's a window capture. We'll change the decent sampler one to calf compressor. Yeah, here's what my compressor looks like. And we want lower the threshold down to there, maybe pull up the ratio and give it a ton of makeup gain, I think. Let's see how that sounds. Why is this in mono? Why is this only in my right ear? What the heck? What the heck? This is a stereo plugin. I'll make a stereo track. Try that. And then go back over to the mixing tab, and then we'll move the compressor over to there. Let's try that. And then get rid of that track. Yeah, see, this is only in our left ear. Well, how about we just re-record it then? We'll just get rid of that, record it again. Gotta make sure the inputs are correct, which they're not. Have to hook it up to my microphone. Okay. Let's see. We're missing, oh no, Brolame Raid. That's the way to do it. That's the way we do it. That's left for me. Yeah, it was left, so hopefully that fixes it. We're gonna do a stereo track instead of a mono track. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know. Alright, let's hear how that sounds. Trim it. Oh, I need to slow it. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know. Oh, you can hear the nerves in my voice. Ah! Well, we'll have to run with it. Let me pull up the lyrics because I actually forgot the lyrics. I don't know it by heart. Yeah, okay. Okay, so where the treetops glisten and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas with every Christmas card I write. May your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white. Alright, I want to hear how that sounds. want to hear it. I want to hear it. I want to hear it. I think I might want to chop out this silence here. Get rid of that. Maybe here too. Yeah. All right. I want to hear it. Where the treetops glisten and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas with every Christmas card I write. May your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white. Alright, yeah, that sounds pretty good. I'm just gonna skip ahead because there's a pretty long instrumental interlude there. Yeah, okay. And then we'll prime it for recording. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. Yeah. Let's hear how that sounds. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. I think that sounds pretty good. Should I put reverb on it? I think I do. And my go-to reverb for that is Dragonfly Hall Reverb, which I can. Oh, excuse me. I can change the window. I had some Mountain Dew. I got the burps. Where's Dragon? Where's the Where's the window for it? Doesn't show it. Let me delete that, see if I need to like refresh it. Add another window capture. Alright. Dragonfly Hall Reverb, yeah. There we go. Dragonfly Hall Reverb, here. So this is, basically it's just a bunch of presets, and goes from like rooms to studios, small halls, medium halls, and I think it's a convolution based reverb, but I think it sounds really good. it's a free and open source reverb. It's like I found it. It's in the meta package for Pro Audio Tools on Linux, which is it's this meta package in the Arch Linux repository that has just a whole ton of completely free and open source audio plugins, and like it's freaking huge. It's freaking huge. There's so much stuff in there, and this is one of the things. So I'm just going to play it and try and figure out which one of these presets sounds good. So I'll hit play. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know. If I go like where the treetops, that might be a little bit too much reverb. And children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. I kind of like that. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas with every Christmas card I write. I think I'll go with that. Days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white. Is there any other plugins I want to add? There's a whole bunch of other plugins that I have available. I don't have what's it called? Melodyne, which is like really not common. Really important for doing vocal tuning. Which would help out a lot here. But I don't have it. It's not free and open source. It's like a paid plugin. I think it's like $200 or something like that. But also it only runs on Windows. Like I'm using Linux, and I'm not afraid of closed source plugins. Like Decent Sampler is like that's what we're using for our piano. That's free, but it's not open source, but it is available on Linux, and I wouldn't be opposed to paying for a good plugin either. But here's the thing, I'm using Linux, and so it has to run on my machine. And there's no version of Melodyne for Linux. It doesn't. I can't make it work. So, be nice to have. It'd be very nice to have, but no, can't have nice things. Maybe an EQ? Yeah, let's put an EQ on there. Maybe we'll put it after the compressor, I think. After the compressor, before the reverb. And actually, no, after the reverb, because we want to tame. Well, do we really even need to tame it? Like, it's such a sparse mix. Yeah, damn proprietary BS. Yeah. I'm kind of conflicted about this because we don't really need to EQ it in because it's such a sparse mix. We might need to EQ in our piano though, because I think let me take a look at what the spectrum actually looks like on our piano bus after. We'll add Wolf Spectrum. Wolf Spectrum is a really nice open source spectrum analyzer, which shows us what the audio looks like in terms of the frequency spectrum, and I gotta add the window capture. It's not showing it again. Window capture. Yeah. There we go. All right, here's our spectrum analyzer, and notice I put it on our MIDI bus here, which has our decent sampler on it. So this is what our piano's gonna sound like. So I want to see what this actually looks like in terms of spectrum. So it's mostly around between 200 and 500 hertz. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know. You see, it leaves a lot up here in the high end. The treetops glisten and chill. This 10K here, this is where all your ASMR stuff lives. That's where that lives. I'm gonna pause that. We'll move it over to our vocals. Yeah. And I moved it over, but wait, what is this? I don't know what that is. Need to move the window capture back over to it. Now we have 2 window captures for Ardour. Let's not have 2 window captures for Ardour. Let's have another window capture for our Wolf Shaper plugin. Or Wolf Spectrum. Not Wolf Shaper. Wolf Shaper is a different one. And now this time this is on our vocals, so we'll see what our vocals look like. I'm dreaming. So again, it's in about the same frequency, Christmas, which is not great, like but I think we can get away with it. Where the treetops glisten and children listen to hear. So you can actually see like what the pitch actually looks like. And you can actually do mathematical calculations to figure out what pitch a specific note is supposed to be. And then you look for you've got the fundamental here, and then you've got overtones above it. But if you align your fundamental to the right pitch, that's how you get it on the right note. And may all your Christmases be white. I'm wondering if I want to maybe... What if I go back over to our... Put it back on there, and we'll put the EQ on there. On the piano, right? Turn on the analyzer, and I need the window capture on the EQ now. You can see there's a lot of windows involved in audio stuff. Glisten and chill. All right, so we've got our EQ here. Listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. We'll do one of these with a really wide Q, and we'll boost it. See how that sounds. There really isn't a lot there. There really isn't a lot there. Dreaming of a white Christmas. I think it's fine. Just like the ones I used to know. If we were to boost here, it's just gonna blur it out because now we're where the trees. This is where all our actual glisten and children. If we boost here, we should get more bass, but there really isn't a whole lot of bass in this either. Sleigh bells in the snow. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot to be done with the EQ this time. It's a very, very sparse mix. So. Christmas. This is a little bit more important when there's more layers. I'll pause it. It's a little bit more important when there's multiple layers and you want it to you want things to sit nicely with each other. What you tend to do is if we pull this back up, you might have your vocals sitting like in this range, and then you've got like your bass sitting in that range, and then maybe some of the hi-hats sitting up here, and you want to try and confine things. So like if you have recordings of vocals, a lot of the time what you'll do is you'll turn on, say, the high-pass filter, and you'll pull that in, and then the low-pass filter, and bring that in there, and then you've got just the important stuff, because a lot of times you'll get noise in those other frequency ranges that isn't really anything that's important for you to make out what the singer is actually singing. But what it will do is it takes up headroom. So other stuff in the track that takes up those same frequency bands, you can only make it so loud there. So if you're wasting it on noise, then you can't make the other stuff loud enough to fill in those gaps without clipping. So that's why you would do that. But of course you don't want to make it too small, because otherwise it's gonna sound distorted. Like if we do this right now, I think this is on our, it's on our piano right now. Our piano is gonna sound weird now, or it's gonna sound. May your days be merry and bright. Right? Like you can hear how it's cutting out important stuff, right? But because it's such a sparse mix, and there's not really anything else in there for it to clash with, it's just the piano and the vocals. You don't really have to do anything to it. You don't really have to do a whole lot to it at all. It's more like I said, it's more important when there's more instruments in there. And of course, if you get like a pre-made instrumental, like a karaoke track or something like that, it's usually mixed pretty reasonable with respect to everything else in it. So you can usually just put vocals over top of it and it'll be fine. But if you're recording your own instruments or using synthesizers, that is something that you would have to pay attention to. Or you don't necessarily have to, but it helps quite a bit if you do pay attention to it. Anything else? We could also add like echo or delay, which is basically the same thing. But aesthetically, I don't think that would really help the track very much in this case. So I don't think I want to add it. If I did, I would add it before the... I'm just going to get rid of that. Oh, what? Yeah, that was the EQ. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of the EQ. Get rid of the spectrum analyzer. Don't need that anymore. Leave the reverb on it. The Decent Sampler plugin for this piano has reverb built into it, so we don't need to add reverb to the piano. I already turned that up, and I think that reverb sounds fine for the purposes of the piano. Although there is a common pattern that's often done where you add a separate reverb bus and then you do sends to the reverb. So then everything that you would want to add reverb to goes to the same reverb, so it sounds like it's from the same space. And that makes sense if you're trying to go for that kind of thing, but it's not really that important. I don't really feel like doing that. Anything else we could do? I think that's about it. I think our takes are fine. I think we've got the reverb. We looked at the EQ. The EQ is fine. Going to change the start and end points maybe to where the MIDI actually begins, so then we don't have a whole bunch of delay at the start. Yeah, let's turn on the grid. That's something I've talked about a lot, is there's a grid. And because we're using MIDI, the MIDI is aligned to the grid, which is so we've got a quarter note grid here, and if we zoom in, it shows more than that, but where's our endpoint? Our end's way back here. Why is it way back here? The MIDI tracks have a bunch of extraneous data that might have something to do with it, but and there are more tracks here, but I didn't really feel like using them. So all right, I think that's good. So I think I'm going to export that, and I'll make a thumbnail, and I'll upload that a little bit later, I think. Gonna White Christmas cover. Export that as a FLAC. Yeah. All right. I think that's it. I think we're done. I think I'm gonna read names and maybe just call it there, I think. Dr. Lullame, thank you. Thanks for the raid. This is kind of off the cuff, but I hope this was the raid you were looking for. I hope this was good enough. Tommy, thank you. Myself? I'm not gonna read my own name. What? The Randman, thank you. And everybody else who's lurking, thank you guys for coming. I hope this was enjoyable. I hope this was interesting. That was a sound. It was a sound. And I say this every night. You know, you guys could go anywhere and you choose to spend your time taking a look at what I'm up to. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. You know, time is a valuable thing, and you can do whatever you want with it. You can do whatever you don't have to come here. You don't have to watch what I'm doing, but if you do, I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful. So thank you guys. So now I need to look for someone to raid. Is anybody else gonna go live? Let me let me look on YouTube. Let me look on YouTube. Is there anybody? Oh, I don't actually have the ability to raid. But I could do a soft raid. I can do a soft raid, right? Looks like Rich Jammer's live. I could send you to him. Unless you guys have any recommendations. Do you guys have any recommendations? Yeah, he's playing Metal Gear Solid 2 on the Switch, Part 5. Yeah, alright. I think, yeah, I'll load that up. And, copy the link. And, before you go, I'm gonna say, thank you guys for coming. Stay safe, stay healthy, have a good one. Here's a link. Good night. Bye-bye. End stream. End stream.